All right, here we go. 100K track. Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. It's been a few months since last time. And the reason why you're actually here is that you actually have a new album out.
Right.
Mercury,
we back at it.
Okay, but why that name?
Mercury's just like the feeling, like the vibe I was on after like the whole Vaughn situation. Just feeling like I'm at a point of success, but I'm going through like so much, like, you know what I'm saying, pain from just getting physically shot, having an artist and a brother pass away, different like people coming in or like fans or haters, whatever you want to call it, perceptions, and just dealing with a whole bunch of things. So I just felt like I was on Mercury, like everything was just cold and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I mean, historically, you were a manager. I mean, I knew you as a manager. I remember we talked in our last interview that you started out rapping.
Yeah.
Then when Melly, I think, came in the picture, you kind of took a little bit of a step back.
Mm-hmm. A little bit before then.
Okay, a little bit before then.
Yeah, I actually stepped back when I got with Kodak.
Right.
When I got with Sniper Gang.
There we go.
I kind of fell back from just being an artist only because right there, the money was coming through me and Kodak clothing line together. And then his artists, Jack Boy and John Wicks and all them artists that he had and his brothers, they was already at a position where they could win more because they had a big platform with him. So I just wanted to kind of fall back and focus on stuff that's going to bring money in. You know, you got to get your life right first before you get anything else.
Okay. So what made you jump back in the rapping game?
Really, well, it's been, I think 5 years since I actually physically did any music, dropped any songs. And I didn't stop. It was just more like a transition and just doing what I got to do as a business, as a man, to just provide. So what really made me want to come back on the music side was just the Vaughn situation. Is kind of just like life, you know, life-changing, eye-opening, like, yo, you got really one life to live. I just turned 30 and, you know, I'm young still, but I'm still such a OG in the game compared to like some of the younger artists. I was just like, you know, I wanted to give me a chance to actually come and be creative. Because I've been writing and I've been putting music together for artists and been in the studio 24/7. But I wanted to actually physically put some stuff out, you know?
That's what's up, man. And I mean, there's a bunch of features on the album that are essentially the artists you already work with.
Yeah.
And YNW Melly is actually on there on the song Slums.
Correct.
And did he do that hook in jail?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so why not just go with, I mean, do you have a bunch of his vocals already lying around?
Yeah,
or?
I do. It's just really, honest truth, that song wasn't even supposed to make the project. And that the whole scenery kind of happened genuine. Like, I'm really in the studio at that time, just working on Mercury, putting songs together, being active. And I'm recording, and he called me, and he like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, shit, I'm in the studio. He like, yeah. I'm like, what you working? He like, what you working on? I spit the verse, acapella, and he's like, damn, that bit raw. He was like, bro, like, you should come up with this hook like this. I'm like, damn, you came up with that bit fast. He like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it goes with that song. I'm like, bro, you do it. So he ended up doing it from the jail call and ended up becoming Slums. And it's the pre-hook, the part that he did, he came up with that idea, and I just put the rest of the stuff I was working on, and it came out to be a fire. Yeah. Genuinely. And my partner was like, bro, that's one of the most genuine things off this project, and it's based on you as a genuine person and what you went through. You should add that record because it's what's going through right now with Melly and everything. So I'm like, all right, yeah, facts.
Yeah, I mean, Melly's a beast.
Right.
The fact that you could just sit there on a jail phone and do a hook that actually gets used in a song, and, you know.
And that's one of the highest streaming songs off the project.
Yeah.
So, you know, it shows how influential he is, where he could do something as 5 minutes on a jail call and it still become one of the like big things in this world. So
yeah, and I remember I think in January on Instagram you said Melly come home in 2 months, y'all better tighten up.
Right, facts.
And his trial is on the 7th?
It was March 7th.
March 7th.
Correct.
There we go.
Right.
Which is in a couple days from now.
Right.
So is that full steam ahead?
It was, but they actually just pushed it back to April 4th.
Okay.
So we went to April 4th only because still got to get a couple things like clean, but it's definitely the same energy that I put out there. Like, yo, y'all better tighten up, that clock on. Instead of 2 months, right now it's 3 months, but it's definitely in a short time frame. We're going to trial. He ready. His team's confident. his legal team's defense. We confident as a family and a team. And it's time for him to take over. It's 3 years he's been gone. So
Yeah, he's been sitting in jail for 3 years
in
now.
2 weeks.
Which is like, you're supposed to have a speedy trial.
Well,
there's certain laws in place.
He just put in for the speedy.
Oh, okay.
So he was just chilling, right? Like getting everything right. Then the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID kind of restructured everybody's plans. And then now, when he came back, we was ready. He felt confident to go with a speedy.
Okay, because last I checked, the prosecutors were actually seeking the death penalty.
Right.
They felt that life in prison was not enough.
It was not enough. Yeah, they didn't take it off the table.
That's crazy.
Right. It shows how big God want this to be for him, because you heard of Tupac's situation, catching you know what I'm saying, with the little rape charge, accused rape charge, whatever it was. And you heard of like different significant artists that went through certain things. And I guess this is just part of the story. God had to make it that way, like death penalty on the table, because he don't do a tie. It's not a draw. Because the draw would be, all right, life in prison. It's win or go home physically. So
yeah, I mean, Boosie was facing the death penalty at one point. He was on death row.
I think they took it off, right? For Boosie? No?
Well, he beat it.
But was it still on where, like, if he lost, he would have had to got the death penalty?
I mean, he was sitting on death row.
Wow.
I mean, he was facing multiple murders.
Right.
So, and he was Louisiana. Let's not forget that.
And Boosie here with you, telling great stories every episode.
There you go.
And Melly gonna be here telling you great stories.
There you go, man. Mm-hmm. There you go. I mean, recently prosecutors, they submitted 66 pages of DNA evidence.
Right.
You heard about this?
Yeah. I mean, we it's not really submitted. It's reenacting everything that happened from the whole case, because they're going to trial and they're doing depositions and they got to put these things now physically out. So all they doing is saying, hey, this is the evidence we found. It was 66 pages, but it's not new evidence. It's the same thing. Forensics, phone towers, y'all know the rest.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, and YNW Portland?
Right.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Is he out, or did he get sent back in for violating bond?
He came out, then he violated, and then he came back out again.
So he's out again?
Right.
Okay.
He's out right now.
And he's Melly's co-defendant on this whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. How's he holding up?
He's holding up pretty good. It's just his situation is still, he can't move. He's still on like level 1 type of, release. So it's not, he had way more freedom before he violated. Unfortunately, he kind of had it where he could have did a lot of things we could have did, just standard checkups. But after the violation, they kind of took all that away. So now it's more on a strict, all right, you can't go nowhere. We don't care what you got to do. You got to be here. So, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, it's a tough situation.
Right.
I know, I guess Melly had like Gucci's in prison.
Yes.
And end up getting his visitation taken away. Yeah. How do you get Gucci's in prison?
It's YNW Melly. I don't know how he did it.
I guess he had sneakers and a headband, or
he
something.
Had the whole set.
He had the whole.
Just know he was flyer than probably everybody in that day.
Did he still have his teeth and everything?
Yeah, it's permanent, so it's still in there.
Okay.
Because they only make you, I think, take that out if you get convicted, and then you got a bid you got to do with just being sentencing. They're not gonna have you take it out. He's still in county.
Yeah, man. Well, listen. I hope everything works out
right
on his end, because he's been sitting there for 3 years.
3 years, yeah. I mean, that's the system, though.
That's tough.
They make you wait on even less. You know what I'm saying? Stuff aggravated with firearm. You don't even have to be death. In Broward County and that type of system, they drag. That's their point. They're gonna drag enough for somebody to say something, or for you to do something, or something to come up. And when it's time to go, then 4 or 5 years later, they'll go, you feel me? But we just, thank God, he was financially able to have a great defense and great, because those type of things were 7 years, you chilling like, yo, we ready to go to trial? Yeah, now we ready. And that's the prosecutor side. Yeah. So it's a blessing that he was able to financially do it the right way, where he could come home quicker, because they make you wait for anything out there, bro.
Well, last year there was a song with Melly and Kodak.
Right.
And I guess Kodak complained that he sounded unhappy.
I think
he was like offbeat or something on it.
Right.
But did you set that up, knowing that you have a relationship with both?
Honest truth, I have a relationship with Kodak on my own, and Melly have a relationship with him on his own. So we kind of just mutually had a relationship with Kodak. His came kind of to after success, but not super success, just regional success, and the history of what they had in Florida. So but they introduced themselves. So anything they do is genuinely off their own strength. But when we all together, it's genuine because we all the same with each other, you know?
Okay. I mean, did you feel that he was rapping off beat? I mean, Kodak kind of raps off beat anyway,
I feel like he did it. And we ended up fixing it, by the way, too. We ended up swapping that on YouTube and everything like that. So it wasn't too bad. It's just that I think when you swap out engineers, because his engineer recorded, and by the time it got to the mix and master, it was probably slightly off. Yeah. And he's just that type of artist. Bro, I'm off. Like, he knows, like, you've been doing this for so long. Right. You know when you a millimeter off, and he like, yeah, I'm off. Like, damn, all right, we got you.
Oh, so you guys just fixed it?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And they're going to have so much more records together this time. They're not going to be off beat on release.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said before, like, Kodak's style is sort of offbeat anyways. Right. Like, he's sort of in and out of pocket purposely. Right. You know? It's not like he can't rap. Obviously, he can rap. But he's purposely sort of jumping around the pocket, I feel, when he raps anyway. So.
Right, he do. And that man got so much different styles, so much different flows. He could do whatever he want to do at this point. For real.
Yeah? I mean, do you guys still maintain a relationship?
Right, for sure.
Okay. How'd you feel when he got shot?
I hated it. I hated the whole scenario. Just because, you know, that kind of triggered like my memory on what just happened, because it's like the same type of scenario. You got altercation going on, then somebody out of nowhere comes. And when I started seeing like the new footage, I'm like, yo, it was closer than, you heard he got shot, but you didn't know the magnitude of, yo, bro was really right there, close to anything could have happened. So I'm just so happy and just thankful that God was covering him and you know what I'm saying, it didn't go anything else less than a wound, and he'll be all right. But bro, it was scary because you could wake up the next day, don't know what the title reads, and that was the scary part. I was just trying to reach out, seeing if he was all right, and thank God he end up being good. But yo, that's crazy. You got to be careful. Anyway,
you guys spoke afterwards,
right? For sure. We end up betting on the Super Bowl. I went with the Rams. You went with the Bengals.
And you won.
I won.
Hey, man, gotta go with LA. Gotta go with LA.
I felt kind of bad though, because I'm like, damn, I don't want to take no money from my little brother. And he
can afford it.
He hurt, you know, right?
He can afford it. He's good.
But, you know,
how much you win?
I won $10,000.
$10,000. All right, and he paid.
Oh, he about to pay me.
He about to pay you.
No, I ain't gonna lie. We so busy. Look, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy, right? The internet's so crazy. Kodak is very like outspoken, so he went. I DM'd him. I said, "Hey, bro, how you want to do it? Like, I could pull up on you. What's the addy? You want, bro?" He DM'd me, man. You buck, woo. So he go and screenshot our combo, put it on Instagram, and said, "Hey, Young and Ace and Track, both of y'all buck." So the world like, damn, Kodak said you finesse. But nah, he DM'd me like, "Nah, you're not playing with you. I got you. Send your wire info. I'm gonna send it to you." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm getting cash because I want you to." Yeah, let me grab that.
You want to see his face when he hands over that money?
Sure. Okay. Don't bet against Track. You know that. But nah, when I pull up on him, I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, I mean, look how much bigger he got since our last interview. Like that Super Gremlin song. It's like, and that's a song that wasn't even on his project. That was
it is. He just dropped it.
Well, but wait, it was Psycho Bob's. Wasn't it Psycho Bob?
It was a collective
that's what I'm saying.
Between him, Psycho, and his other artists.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like his solo project.
I don't think he went in there and said, "I'm gonna make a Super Gremlin hit." He just go in there and rap, and then it came out to be a Super Gremlin hit. So you see what Atlantic had to do? They had to transition that song and put it on his album. That's how big it was. And a lot of people was kind of like crossing them, you know what I'm saying? They nuts on him, like, oh, his numbers and da-da-da. But bro, you can't discredit this man's a legendary. So he just came home from a 1.5, 2-year bid. He gotta download, he gotta get right. You know what I'm saying? But he always gonna do numbers regardless. He's Kodak Black.
You know Jack Boy as well, right?
Right. That's my first artist I managed.
There we go. Right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right.
When you see the two of them just beefing online, how do you feel?
Not gonna lie, like I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I wouldn't see him and Jack doing that because when I was around them, the bond they had was so unbreakable. It kind of just like, damn, bro, anything is possible in this world, for real. Feel me? So, I mean, you hate to see it because you wouldn't want two people, you know what I'm saying, that you know love each other or had love for each other go through that, but you don't know what the next man is doing behind or closed doors or whatever. So whatever they're going through, you know, if they could resolve it without violence and, you know what I'm saying, everybody could be good, hopefully. It's not nothing severe ties, then, you know, hopefully they get back right.
Yeah, I think Jack Boy went on Instagram and said that we should just box it out and be friends again or something of that sort. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you don't want to be violent, but then again, a fist fight is just a fist fight. Like,
I mean, it's 2022. I don't know what a fist fight is anymore. I know bulletproof trucks. I know securities, in and out, handle business. So not playing, and ain't nobody trying to fight no more. Last time, every occasion somebody tried to fight, there's a gun getting drawn, somebody getting shot. So I don't know how that approach would come. Because if they really into it like they into it, I just feel like they need to resolve it. No altercation, regardless. That would be the best mode for it.
Well, I think a fist fight between two old friends is a lot different than two people that don't know each other.
But you said old friends. A friend could be your enemy, and an enemy right now could do whatever to you, especially both don't know what other intention is. So I don't think there's no such thing as a friendly fight between anybody that's in a position where it's hostile like that.
Yeah.
So they just got to resolve it the best way they can.
Well, speaking of that, you had the shooting that happened last time. How long ago? How much time has passed since then?
I think it's been a year.
A year.
Right.
How are you healing up?
I'm good. My legs, I still get the little feeling sometimes at night or whatever because it's nerves, but I'm good. Like I've been at my full capacity and stuff like that.
That's great news.
Thank you.
That's great news. So, and I guess the site where the shooting happened, where you got shot and Vaughn got killed, 8 more shootings have happened
over there
in that parking lot.
Damn, so that shit's just bad luck.
8 more shootings. I'm not going to say people died every time,
right?
But 8 more shootings have happened in that area.
Damn.
Since the tragedy that you went through.
You don't think it's related though?
I don't think it's related at all.
People just feel like that's the area they could do something out there.
I don't know.
I mean, it's 2022. Like I said, bulletproof trucks, armed guards. That's how you got to live as an entertainer. Anyways, in this generation, y'all took the fun out of it. Y'all made like it being celebrated, being like that hero to you got to be a rich, defensive type of lifestyle. It's not cool. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, since our last interview, let me think. Draco the Ruler got killed.
Right.
Slim 400 got killed. I'm naming people that I've actually interviewed.
Right.
Snooty Wild.
Damn, he
just got killed.
Right.
We had interviewed him years ago.
Yeah. Young Dolph.
Young Dolph got killed as well. Right.
A lot of people.
These are all people that have Vlad TV interviews that we sat down with in various capacities. All young men. Right. No one's 50, 60. No one's dying from old age. No one's dying from heart disease or the kind of things that take people out later in life. These are all shootings or stabbings.
And these are all entertainers.
All entertainers.
I consider this like a work field. This is all us working at work, getting killed on the job, on the clock.
Well, I remember Draco's manager called me up, and what he pointed out that I never really thought about was that with Draco's situation, that was the first time a rapper was killed backstage at his own show.
Damn.
At a show. I mean, it wasn't his show, but it was a show he was performing at.
Damn.
Once upon a time in LA.
And that's
like you have never like think about hip hop history. You and I are old enough to remember it.
Right.
Like rappers get killed after the show, in the studio, in the street, altercations, whatever, but waiting to perform, that has never happened in the history of hip hop.
And that's not the history I want for hip hop.
No one wants that. Yeah. You don't see it in country music.
That's
you
not
don't
cool,
see it in heavy metal.
Right. That's just very, like...
You don't see it in techno.
That's just very unfortunate that that's the history we're making. Like, us as a culture, we're choosing to make that a history in our generation. It just sounds so, like, bogus for real. It's sad, though, and my condolences to his family and his team. Like, it's unfortunate that he died at work at a place where it's supposed to be secure. Because this is a job. Like, we treat this like it's not what we're doing.
Yeah. Died at work. I never really thought of it like that. But yeah, he died at work.
It's work. This is getting worse than doing freaking, construction. Instead of dodging rocks and tall buildings, you're dodging bullets and tweets.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Vaughn's new album,
what it means to be
March 4th.
Right.
So by the time this comes out, the album's already out.
Right.
How involved are you in that album?
Pretty involved.
Yeah.
I never left that situation. I stayed pretty close to it, to the family, to the music, through the legal side, everything. I'm gonna stand on business for Vaughn the right way.
So why the name What It Means to Be King?
it was just more of a toss-up between all of us, and the A&R, from Empire. You know what I'm saying? We were just throwing a couple names, and we would just come up with a couple names, and we sent some to the family. And his mom is like now the the estate holder, and his uncle and things like that. So they not super active on the business because they got their own lawyers, they own day-to-day. So they build their team that they trust to work with us on the management side and with the Empire on the label side. So names got given to them and they really liked that name. And they went with that name. It's a dope name though.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Right. I'm feeling it. And the first single is Don't Play That with 21 Savage.
I don't
play that.
I don't play that. Fact.
I just like to point out that I don't think Von really used any latex. He had 2 kids on the way at the time that he passed. I'm just saying. I just thought when I heard that line, it's how fucking bitch the latex. I'm like, no, you don't.
Boy gonna use latex for sure. He definitely he gonna use latex.
They use raw dog all the time. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't going like that. B-Roy wasn't going like that. He had his moments. He know he don't.
Well, he had 2 kids after he passed, right?
I mean, at that time,
I'm just looking at facts. I'm just looking at reality. Like, you know what I mean?
Vlad, he just wanted to, lay the seeds and sow his royal oats. But he done been in situations where I know for a fact, like the way he is mentally, he's gonna protect himself.
Okay.
He's not gonna go out there everybody playing like that with. No way. He ain't going.
Well, NBA YoungBoy, he dropped a song, Breathe the Hook.
Right.
And it looked like he was taking shots at King Von. I mean, how does it feel that someone you were so close to, you were actually there when he passed and still working on his projects, that you have someone like YoungBoy, as big as he is, really one of the biggest artists in the world right now, they're still dissing someone who's passed at this point. Like he's not around anymore. He can't respond. But he's still dissing him after his death.
Yeah, like personally, it don't make me feel like no type of way because I'm coming from working with an artist like King Von who, that was his thing. Like he would include his ops or the people he felt like was ops, and he would that was their type of style. They from that culture. So personally, I feel like the genre of music that we on right now, it don't got to be YoungBoy or Von. It's anybody. People go after that. They go after that. That's no matter how big, how small, they want that satisfaction of knowing that they smoking this or doing that. So I feel like we just got to change. Because I personally don't feel like that's a situation where you got like real beef and real problems, like a YoungBoy and a Fredo or any other like artists that's really into it in their own town, and they got bloodshed, they got trauma, they got history together. I'm gonna whatever they doing, I'm gonna stay out their way, mind my business, because I don't know what this transpired to, but a situation like that, I think it was just more of an unfortunate night and a real bad timing where things happen by mistake. Like your homeboy got shot, you know what I'm saying? Your other homeboy career is at a place where like a lot of people look at him as an enemy. You got one of the greatest talents out, like Von, that lost his life early. A lot of fans is now seeing the greatness. And I just think it's a situation where us as a culture, and you was, being locked up, fighting what you fighting on a Fed or whatever case situation you got in your own thing. I feel like coming out, it would have been a situation for us to like grow and be like, you know what, bro, this wasn't supposed to happen. Let's just focus on making things better. I don't think coming out in that type of direction help us as young men and cultures and music and trying to change dynamics and stuff. I just feel like it make it worse. The police winning and the graveyard is winning, but we're gonna start taking real losses in this culture, and R&B and country and techno. They're gonna keep getting money, and we're just gonna keep losing people.
Well, yeah, and to be fair, King Von and the new single, I Don't Play That, he even talks about smoking Tuka,
right?
In the lyrics.
Yeah, so it's
sort of like, I guess it's fair. Fair is fair.
It's the new it's the new genre of music that we're in, and it's not subject. It's not subjected just to King Von, YoungBoy, any other drill artist, K Flocka. I get it. It's not subject to nobody. It's just now, how there's new, like back then it used to be hustling, getting money. Then you had the whole era where it was drugs and being on drugs. Then you had an era where it was aspiration and good music. This is the era where everybody want to be a gangster. Everybody want to be, no, not a gangster. Everybody want to be a killer. Everybody want to smoke ops and do this, and we need to stay away from it.
Yeah, and and as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, you have a person who's so like for example, like the King Von, I don't play that, right?
Right.
You have a person who's no longer alive, who put out a song dissing another person who's no longer alive.
Right. The cycle.
You see how when you look at it that way, just how crazy it sounds? Like,
yeah. And it's unfortunate and it's sad that Vlad, these artists I'm blessed that I just turned 30. I'm kind of like going through a young OG crisis because it's like I'm so still young, but in my field, I'm considered old, whatever. Dog, they dying at 26, 19, 21. Like, bruh, we don't want to live with, we're going to make this money. That's why Mercury is all really about that type of vibe. We're going to get to these success, get to this riches, get to everything we ever wanted, to die with it and leave it for kids and other people that's probably not even going to want it as bad because they didn't have to go through what you want. So I just think it sucks. And we as musicians and artists and labels, and we just got to help change that narrative. And I'm going to start with my own group, my own camp.
I mean, well, speaking of your camp, MUWAP is part of your camp.
I'm a vet.
When I interviewed Boss Top, was MUWAP? Was that one of the interviews that we were supposed to do as well? Did we talk about that? I'm trying to remember.
We had a rollout plan with MUWAP because, he had his project on the way. So yeah, pretty sure he would have been here too.
Yeah, I think it was a discussion. Right. And then MUWAP gets arrested it was 5 people altogether that were charged with the murder of FBG Duck.
Right.
When you heard the news, and this is your artist,
right?
Once again.
Yeah.
When you heard the news and you heard about the arrest, and he's still sitting in jail right now.
Yeah, he's still going through it right now. We're trying to see what's going on. It's still so fresh,
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. I mean, when you heard the news, and then basically as soon as you heard it, everyone was already arrested, right?
Right.
It's not like they announced it. They announced indictments or whatever, and then they just went and did a sweep and just picked everyone up, and then announced that the rest were coming.
Right.
How'd you feel?
It was just like, damn. Why we can't just seem to dodge this, and not we as me and my team, because that would be selfish. Of course, business wise, is we affected, but we as damn, why we're just getting money, just starting to really go crazy. Your mom is happy, little sister's proud. I just hate to see somebody else, because remember I went through that. What's going on right now is what I went through 3 years ago when Melly got picked up.
Exactly.
So 3 years later, same type of level artist, different state, getting picked up. Now it's up to, God, of course, and whatever situation happened, unfold. And, hopefully I want the best to happen and he come home, just like I would want for Melly and anybody else or myself. But right now, it's the same situation. It's a waiting game. Money's getting stopped. Opportunities getting stopped. And somebody else is in a system where instead of being trophied, is being criminalized. And
yeah, because MUWAP's all over your album.
Right. Yeah, he got 2 records.
Two songs.
Track Still and 10 to the O with Wiz, Long Live Wiz.
I mean, how's he holding up?
MUWAP?
Yeah.
He's holding up good. It's still so early, so don't really know too much info, you know what I'm saying? It's more at a place where all you could do is just, all right, let's see what's going on. But I'm not gonna be down here heartbroken and sad. He's writing, coming up with ideas, coming up with a rollout strategy, what we're doing until he get an opportunity to get a bond or this is over with. So he's just training his mind, talking to his mom, being in good spirits. We just talked the other day and he told me he want to stop putting on music again. Because him and Lil Durk got a record in the video shot.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
So he want to get that out, and he want to work on even dropping the tape while he in there, just because he was in that mode already. So that hunger and that passion just ain't gonna be done because you behind bars. So he just want to keep it going.
Yeah, and I think with Durk, I think his brother got killed since our last interview.
Long D-Thang.
D-Thang,
right.
Who
I've
interacted with before. Me and him have had some conversations some years back. Just a very cool dude,
man. Cool.
Just a cool, everyone I talk to, it's that same, he's a cool dude. Nothing bad to say about him.
He gonna walk in the room and make the whole room bright.
Yeah. Yeah, just a cool, solid dude, man, who gets murdered.
It's just,
in Chicago.
It's sad, bro. Shit. It's just a lot of pain and stuff that should be replaced with joy and happiness. So,
I mean, have you ever like sat down with your artists and said, listen, like, you got beef with this prominent person and, you know, and y'all been going back and forth. Like, let me make some phone calls and see if I can get everyone in the same room together or on the phone together or on FaceTime or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that yourself?
I done did that a couple of times. I done try to you know what I'm saying, bring down any drama that may be going on. I'm always gonna talk, finding a way to solve something before it escalates. But these young men is 20, 21, 19. I'm 29, 28 at that time, turning 30 now. They're looking at me like, bro, you're an old head. Like, wait, bro. Okay. All right, so I got a business. I'm married. And I'm successful, so I'm an old head. But bruh, can my old head tell you as a young head to chill? Because I know where it's gonna go towards. Right. Because I done seen it with myself, my dogs. And bruh, 20 and 30, like 30 to 25, 22, right, we're not that far apart. Yeah. But when you catch 30 years of life in prison, we become very far apart.
Yeah. I mean, I've interviewed people who did like 39 years in prison and, you know, that type of thing, coming out as old men. And
I'm trying to avoid that for everybody, man. Right. Like, I don't care what artist is under, like, who, like, let's just avoid this. Let's just find ways to change this narrative. This shit is horrible. Very horrible.
Well, with one of your other artists, Hotboii,
right,
who I've interviewed.
Yeah.
He got caught up in a RICO charge. Is that worked out still or is that still ongoing?
It's still fresh as well, and he's dealing with it right now. You know, he got his defense team. He's basically out until they figure out. But I really feel like that was like really one of the most like, okay, come on now, y'all tripping. This man live in Miami, haven't been in Orlando active for more than 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years, fully committed to music. I know there may be tension between what you call gang, which is neighborhoods and camps and people, but don't try to throw that man in a RICO charge. Like he out here waking up every day trying to figure out how to mess up the community. Like, no, this man is out here changing his life every day.
RICO's a motherfucker,
right?
Man.
That's like one
RICO, they'll get you on a RICO for just knowing somebody. Like, you know, like Casanova 2 times, like,
yeah,
clearly this man is not a gang leader. Right? Clearly this man is not out there, you know, starting wars and, you know, setting up, you know, drug empires and so forth. He's doing well in rap.
Yeah.
You know, Hotboii had a song with Future not too long ago.
Right.
That was a hit.
It's still a hit. And still he got one with Moneybagg and 42 Dugg. That's a hit right now.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's not like, come on, like, that's why. But look, I understand. Like, for real, I kind of understand how it's looking. When you have a genre in music where young men and women from our culture is getting a lot of money, and you talking about real income, but in music and appearance and everything, it seems like they're using it for that type of material and type of lifestyle and killing and RICOs, and that's what anybody, now they just throwing it. Like, they don't care no more. Like, you could really not be wear the hat. If it don't fit, it don't fit. Feel me? Because everybody just popularizing it. Mm-hmm. So if we don't stop this, the shit's going, I told y'all the prison system gonna win, gang. Like, we making it easy for them. Like, we literally talking about it. People's really sometimes doing it. So even if you, as an artist back then, you have like a Jay-Z or you got any other people that's talking about what they doing, they're talking about hustling. They're talking about doing certain things where it's like, all right, whatever, you tripping, but cool. Man, we talking about killing, smoking bodies, and y'all think these people just, y'all tripping. Y'all think we in a movie, huh? This ain't a movie. This is real life.
Yeah,
you gotta stop playing like that.
Yeah, but let me tell you, as someone who interviews actual criminals, like people with like 3 bodies, you know, who talk about all 3 murders,
right,
who do 30 years in prison, like people like Blue Boy, who just got out after 39 years, or Rudy Williams, who did like 35 years, who they said was responsible for 200 murders. Like,
damn.
Like, I'm just going to tell you that these people do not have the same energy as these rappers. Right. I don't care what these rappers are representing in their music.
Yeah.
This is not who they really are.
Right.
You know, not to discredit who they are, but I'm just saying the real killers, the real gangsters, the ones who end up in the system for decades,
right,
have a very different energy about them.
because they went through that hardship and they seen how life was almost taken away. But you got to remember, I'm not here to discredit, like, don't get it twisted now. When I'm saying, like, these rappers and these artists, they talking about that, Vlad, these young artists, they literally might be talking about that for real, or even just having homeboys that's, all that is just easy access for stuff to happen, you know what I'm saying? To legally wise. So it's like, if you're gonna be an artist or entertainer, you can't dib and dabble in street activities. You don't wanna put yourself in predicaments where you become accessible or you actually putting whatever life things going on music, because it's bad. They're using Jay-Z trying to stop lyrics.
Yeah, but that's not, you're not gonna stop that, because at the end of the day, I mean, Boosie, perfect example.
Yeah.
Day and a half during his murder trial, they played his lyrics to the jury for a day and a half. They just sat there, and some of the stuff wasn't even accurate. It's like, oh, he's saying this, and he's like, that's not even what that means. Like, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter because it's all about the presentation.
Right. But Boosie would talk about that in certain music and hand it there. This generation of music now, that's all it is. So it's like, it's bad. Like Durk just said it on the song that he just dropped. Like, if you gonna post all your dirt on Instagram and in music, you might as well go to the DA and be like, yo, I killed a man.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, we got to figure out how to make music that's different, better music for us.
I mean, when you look at like the artists that you've worked with in your roster and so forth, King Von, murdered, Melly, facing a murder charge, Muwop,
right,
facing a murder charge, Hotboii, RICO charge, Kodak Black, in and out of jail, recently got out thanks to Trump. Probably be sitting in prison right now if not for Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 5 artists.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever considered doing country music instead, or just trying a whole different genre? Because clearly the genre you've chosen has a lot of tragedy associated with it. I know, and I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm not saying this as an insult.
I know what you're saying.
But I'm sure that it weighs on your heart.
Yeah.
Because you care about these young men,
and I don't want to get shot.
And you don't want to get shot again.
I don't want to have to drive in bulletproof trucks every day and going to shows. I don't want to have to feel like that. But the thing is, I'm blessed to be able to have a system where I got a great team, a great partner, / wife. And we built this entity together for the last 4 years and made it something amazing. Regardless of whatever things that happen in between, we're dealing with it as adults and we're dealing with it as humans. But I can't abandon ship on just hip hop because I be abandoned on me. I am hip hop. Like, she's hip hop. What y'all, hip hop is supposed to be us, like the demographics of blacks, people that haven't really had a chance to make it in life, like things that's what it was. So for me to leave that's like leaving like our like brothers and sisters behind. And instead of doing that, I rather now I'm focused. If I'm with you, I'm eliminating things that you might be doing to try to, like, if you got beef with this person, bro, you move into another town, gang. If you always talking about this, listen, man, we either gonna work and try to do better music, get writers and whatever, and try to make this really work, because records come out and it could be drill, but bro, that's not the music that people that's gonna make you into a brand. So if I'm working with any artist, I'm trying to now structure them to be in a brand. If it's a Hotboii, even if it's a DQ or, B Slime, I'm working with them to be in a brand more than just being an individual, so they don't got to stick to that format. To abandon it completely, that'll be selling out, because, I am that, like, with the next track, the next AA, the next Walt, like, they gonna need people like us in it, you feel me?
Well, you and Kanye actually worked together.
Right, that's my boy.
How did that come together?
It came together in that situation right when Melly was in the process of building up and getting up there.
Right, because Kanye did a song with Melly.
Mixed Personality.
How did that come together before I asked him,
So Melly was in that mode where he was just networking, and he got cool with Shada Prince out of Atlanta. Oh, and he really, that's like Kanye, like right-hand man as well, right? So one day, Kanye just called, like text Melly, and he was like, hey, this is Kanye. This is Ye. Let's work. And Melly like, hey, Track, we together on the road. He like, hey, Track, I just got a text from Kanye. I'm like, what? I'm like, he like, bro, I think it's fake though. I'm like, why would it be fake? Like, why would somebody text you to be Kanye? I'm like, call it, FaceTime it. So Melly FaceTime it. It's Kanye. They're like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, what's that? They're like, yeah, bro, I rock with you. You hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got your number from Shy. Like, he connected me. Like, I want to do a song with you. Like, I want to fly you to LA, you know what I'm saying? And let's work. I'm working on my project, which at that time, we didn't know it was either Donda. I think it was Donda or the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, cool. So we fly there and stuff like that. And we just end up playing all his music. Like, Ye, for some reason, like, regardless of how big he is, he wants, like, people to pay attention. So we there, and hours, like, it was me, Melly, Bort, and I think, like, I don't think Grizzly came yet, because we invited Grizzly, like, a whole other day to come, because we did, like, 2-3 days with Kanye. But we playing music for, like, hours. He playing his album. It's so hard. Like, he going crazy. And he asking us for feedback, so I'm giving him feedback, Melly giving him feedback. So around when he finished, he like, yo, play some songs. Like, and Melly had his album that he just turned into 300, and we all shine. We already had like systems about to go through, records about to come out. So we said, play the album. So he played the album, and he heard Mixed Personality and flipped out. I was like, bro, this is me. This is Ye. Like, this is me. Like, you're like, yo, I want to jump on this. I'm like, I bet. And then, we end up making it happen. At first, I told him no, though, but then we end up like having conversations and things like that, and we end up making it happen.
Okay. And then you started working with Kanye yourself.
Right.
Okay. So how did that come about?
That's after Melly got incarcerated. And it was another Ye crazy surprise moment, because it's like, I think it's a year and a half after, chilling. I haven't talked to him since the release, and checked up on Melly a couple of times, talked to him a couple of times, but we end up being kind of not communicating. Out of nowhere, I get a call from his team, and it was like, yo, Kanye wants you to fly to LA. He's working on a new album and wants you to come like do some stuff and write. Because remember, when we was in the studio, we was there for hours putting music, talking about ideas and things. So he's like, I'm like, wait, a year and a half, 2 years later, this man think to call me on everything. But if I'm lying, I'm flying. Like, I will put my wife on a lie detector right now. I'm like, damn, year and a half. Like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right, what I got to do? They're like, nothing, just send all your info. They put me a flight, got the room, got the travel. We went to like his Calabasas studio at that time with his like warehouse with the clothes. ASAP Ferg was in one room. I was in the other room. Other artists was coming through. A whole bunch of producers. There was a whole bunch of like people in there, like engineers, and it was just like a workshop. We was just working. He came through and checked on some stuff, pretty much in and out. Because he was already there working on clothes. So he would just come up, listen to the music, go down. Pretty dope. Ain't get used though, but hopefully maybe one day.
So were you writing or rapping?
Yeah, I wrote 2 songs for him. Like in the studio and all. Did the vocals, everything.
Okay, he did the vocals? You did
No, I did the vocals. Because, it's references. So
you did a reference track.
You would do a reference track.
Yeah, got it. Okay,
so I did like 2 reference tracks for him.
Okay. You do
and I was scratching my fingers like a lottery, like, come on. But it didn't come out. But you never know.
You never know with Kanye.
This documentary just showed me you never know with Kanye. So maybe 3 years later, I hear my song coming out with him. I'm ready for that publishing, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it.
I mean, that's an honor, though. I mean, considering that you're not traditionally looked at as a rapper,
right?
The fact that Kanye is asking you to rap
right.
for him, and, depending on who you talk to, I mean, he's up there with one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Right.
So,
yeah. And that really came, and what's so crazy, right? The opportunity, you never would figure would be something like that when you in the studio with somebody like Kanye. But it showed how comfortable and how good of a vibe he was to make Melly freestyle. I'm freestyling, like, we just rapping, Bort freestyle. Like, we really was free. The man was play songs, freestyle, put things down. Like, we were just having such a good time for a year later. And now I'm thinking about it, Vlad. That must mean I'm special a little bit too. For a year later, the man to call, A-Track, pull up and write something. So that kind of like gave me a little motivation too. Like, yo, there's something in it, whichever way.
Yeah, man. Congrats. Congrats.
When it come out, we'll really be celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Drinks on me.
So who's on the roster now?
On the 100K?
Yeah.
You got Hotboii, B Slime, YNW Melly, King Von for life, You got Slat Zai, FCG Heem, Rico Cartel, you know, DQ, Muwab, Boss Top. And then you got a couple other artists that I'm working
30
with.
30 Deep?
Yeah. 30. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple others I'm working like 30 Deep, C Murder, Almond and Trade.
Wait, C Murder?
C Murder was with 30 Deep. NWMC Murder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
not
put
that
NWM. Yeah, not that C Murder.
Okay,
not Master P. So, and then you got, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. Then you got a couple artists that's freshly new, but me and Thug got an artist together, YTB Trench.
Young Thug?
Yeah, me and Thug got an artist together.
Okay.
Right. And he got a song with Lil Baby and Thug last year and Gunna. The paid the fine.
Dope.
Right.
Dope,
so
man.
We working on him. I'm pretty excited about him. And you got myself, a 100K track.
And of course, that album is out right now, Mercury.
Nah, Mercury, man.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I came through icy like Mercury too, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you were definitely not icier than last time.
You think so?
I mean, the mouth?
I had that.
Did you?
I always had diamonds. I had diamonds.
Did you have diamonds in your mouth last time?
You know I had diamonds. And then I pull out, so they never came out.
Okay, so I guess I'm wrong in that regard, but there's more chains.
You know what? This is my third jewelry set. So I actually swapped out jewelry 3 times. A set is not when you get one chain. Like I'm talking about a whole setup: chain, pendant, watch, bracelet, rings. So I swapped out jewelry a couple times, and now I'm just like rocking the all white, and I added a little bit more to it. So
yep, it's more rings.
More ring, yeah. I got a little bit icier. I got a little bit more better in life.
Nothing wrong with that,
right?
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to get that Vlad money though.
Hey, you know,
your money different.
Hey, 14
I heard about
years,
your money.
14 years deep.
Right.
and no partners, no investors.
You completely independent?
Completely independent.
See,
and we own everything 100%.
Like, what do you look at yourself as a pioneer? Like, who would you consider yourself to be? Like, you know, history repeat itself. Who do yourself being like in that field, being how you was independent, successful like that?
Maybe Oprah.
Wow. You just snapped, bro. You just said Oprah.
Oprah.
I ain't gonna lie, you gonna get there too. And you gonna
I think in the hip hop space, I think we've, you know, just business wise, I think we in the hip hop media space, I think we've surpassed everybody. Right. You know what I mean? We may not get the biggest interviews every time or whatever else, but when you look at our business as a whole, you know.
Content is huge.
Yeah. I mean, the company's 16 employees full time now.
Right.
You know, and just sort of the way we've structured it and how we've not made deals with, you know, there's people that look like they're popping, but they have like 2-3 deals in place and they're signed to this person and signed to that person and their content is going on this different YouTube channel and whatever else. Everything is Vlad TV on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And I think in terms of someone who built up something and owned it and created it, I think Oprah would be someone I would compare myself to. Not to say I'm at Oprah's level right now. She got a lot more money than me.
The way you explained it is perfect. Because look, the reason why I asked you that, right? I got this new narrative that I'm pushing in my head, right? I'm calling myself the Florida Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing it like this for real. Like at the age, time frame where he was with, you know, as an artist, a lot of labels and a lot of things probably, you know, I had a good run in my region, but I never grew because nobody was willing to pick me up. So I kind of feel like the same way. You know, now I'm able to be bossed up and do it myself, spending my own money, my own bread, putting my own vision together. And the way I'm able to change other artists' lives and being able to, like you said, my staff right now is 15 people internally, right?
Yep.
I'm empowering a lot of people in my neighborhood. I'm bringing a lot of artists together. And money-wise, 3 sets, third sets of jewelry, wifey on her third too, you know what I'm saying? We chilling, you know? We ain't all the way up there yet, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not touching the billions yet. But
we getting Blue Ivy. No, I'm tripping. Let me not try Blue Ivy. She got it. Blue Ivy, my bad, Blue Ivy. You got it.
Blue Ivy's richer than all of us.
Right.
Let's just keep it 100 here. We're all poor. We're all poor as shit compared to Blue Ivy. So, all of us in this room combined.
I ain't Blue Ivy yet, but you know, I consider myself the Florida Jay-Z because the way I'm doing my imprint, I'm signed to myself. I'm managed by my own company, Rock Nation, 100K, Remain Solid, my label, signed to myself, distributed by Create Music.
Yep.
So, you know, I'm putting my own money in my own videos, really doing this for real. Getting my own, like all my features came from relationships. Because Tootsie on there, he's not part of my situation. I got things with all the big artists you could imagine I could really work with. So I'm taking their Jay-Z route. And y'all may not see the vision right now in 2022, but in 2025, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah, man, listen, a lot goes into it. And, you know, as someone, for the people out there, there's a very interesting point that I really have been thinking about a lot recently. Right. Is that a lot of times you look at these people out there and the deal that they signed is what gets celebrated, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, so-and-so signed a $10 million deal. Oh, he signed a $50 million deal. He signed a $10 million, $15 million deal, whatever. I'm looking at who's actually signing those, who's actually giving those deals out. Right. That to me is more interesting.
That's dang,
you see what I'm saying?
Think of it like that.
Because whatever they're paying that man or that woman, they're going to double or triple that.
Right. So you basically looking at the plug.
I'm looking at
the plug.
Yeah, I'm looking at the plug.
Right.
I'm not looking at the seller.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at the person who just sold their catalog. I'm looking at the person who bought the catalog. I'm not looking at the person who signed the deal. I'm talking about the person who presented the deal to that other person, because that's who's going to make the real money.
Damn, you know what's crazy, Vlad? Like, you just really just put me in a space where this whole time, like, because I naturally, just by the way things is going on, I'm the person that's doing the deals, giving the deals, and I never looked at it, but I'm still getting like deals from other labels and partnerships with different stuff, feel me?
Yeah.
But to think like how you think, that's what I need to start being like, bro, I want to be the person that buys all the catalog. But you got to get there though, like financially.
Yeah.
Because really, like, you could be that person mentally, but without that finance, you poop-putt.
Let me tell you, last few months, we went through this whole process that we had what was the equivalent of a publishing deal. There was a big company came in and wanted to essentially buy the monetization rights for a catalog for a certain number of years and offer like a big check up front.
To y'all?
Which is equivalent to a publishing deal, right? Yeah. You're getting the money up front and then they get the back end money, right? And the deal was big. It was a big deal. And at first it was like, oh shit, like these guys are serious. They got the money. I've never been, offered that big of a bag up front before. And we started going through it, right? And after we started doing the math, I'm like, yo, we're gonna give up like 25% of our money over time. 25%
of whatever you would be
whatever we would make. This company would take 25% as their profit for giving up that upfront bag,
which is a huge bag, though.
It's a huge bag, right? And the guy that was working with me on this deal used to run the biggest publishing company in the world. I'm not going to say his name, but he was the president of one of the biggest publishing houses. Period. Right. And he was helping to broker the deal, and he was bringing in other companies to bid against it and so forth. And I remember at the very end, after working on this for months, I said, I'm going to turn this down because it's too much money to give up over time, and we don't really need all that upfront money.
Because we're
fine. We're a profitable business. We're not going to need this money up front. I'll just wait for it to arrive.
And then you get it yourself.
And I'll get it myself. And I remember I asked him, I said, out of all the artists, and he's done hundreds of millions of dollars worth of publishing deals. I said, out of all the artists you've ever worked with for these publishing deals, how many of them have actually walked away from these publishing deals? He said 0.
Just you?
He said no artist has ever walked away from a publishing deal.
And you just did.
And I just did.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, that gotta be celebrated.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
dope,
it's not me like saying, oh, I'm smarter than everyone else.
But mentally you focus enough.
But it just shows that a lot of people don't want to wait for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to wait for it. They want it up front, and they don't care how much they give up in the process. And these publishing companies and these YouTube companies are sitting back and saying, sure, we'll give you these millions up front for us to make a bunch of millions to do nothing, to just collect these checks from you automatically.
I got the bank, so I'm going to get paid to be the bank.
I'm going to be. And what they're giving you is not what the bank is giving you. Interest rates are unbelievably low right now.
The money is about the same amount or more, but what they're taking is way more than
you could get a business loan for maybe 3, 4, 5%.
Right. They want 25%.
They want 25%.
Right.
So it was just a very interesting thing of just looking at business at a high level.
Right.
That the dudes that are actually giving out the deals, the dudes that are giving out the bags, that's who you should really be looking at, because that's where the real money's at. Everyone who's selling out, I don't mean selling out in terms of selling out, like, demeaning themselves, but giving their work up front and not seeing anything on the back end just for that upfront money, That's not really who you should be looking at if you're a real business person.
But 8 times out of 10, though, majority of the people that's getting the success and fame or the opportunities that we're getting now, because you've been doing this for a minute to get some money. Even though like I'm still relevant and new in the music, I've been grinding for about 10 years additionally to even get to this level.
Yeah, right? I'm now 20 years. I officially started full-time music business in 2002.
Right, and I started when I was 16 and I'm 30. So I'm literally 13, 14 years in it. Mm-hmm. But when you get artists like that or people in those positions like that, they don't really think real business. They think instant gratification. And a lot of people's gonna be like that. Because I could have did the same. See, not at the level you're talking about, because I don't know the amount that you're talking right now. Sound like I wish I was you. Like a couple weeks ago, maybe it would have been a different answer. But I don't have opportunities from labels because I'm completely independent. I don't have no ties to no particularly brand. And I don't pass that down, but I don't did partnerships with like distribution and other companies to like, bring revenue and things. But it's hard. Everybody want instant gratification mostly. So
they do.
That was big because I know you was looking at that bag like, and
I was looking at it like, this is the biggest single check I would have ever gotten in my life. At the end of the day, you have to have confidence in what it is that you're putting out.
Right.
And I think that's in music a lot of times, the reason why people take the publishing deals is because they don't know if they're going to have any more hit records.
You think so? Oh, I think
it's a combination, right? It's a fear of the unknown. I mean, because listen, as hot as Kodak is right now, he can go on a dry run for the next 2-3 years.
Right.
You just don't know. Or let's just say he stops working.
Right.
Let's just say he says, fuck it. He's not inspired. He doesn't want to do this.
That's what you're saying. So some people just grab it.
They'll just grab it because, this is guaranteed money. I'm not sure. But if you have confidence in what it is that you do,
right.
Like we know that if we put out certain types of content, we interview certain types of people, we're going to do certain numbers.
Yeah, so you already know your projections.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
But if you're a confident artist and and a lot of times, man, like I remember I've talked to people like, Lil Bibby who,
right,
doing very well. He's like, if you look at what's coming down the line, if you actually go through the process of seeing, okay, here's all the money that's coming, a lot of these dudes, when like he didn't do a publishing deal. Right. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you see what's really coming, you're like, I'll just wait for this. But a lot of people don't even do the due diligence of figuring out what's in the pipeline.
That's true.
They're just seeing that 4 or 5 million,
right,
and they're like, I just want to grab it. And then they go and
right, and then
sell off all your shit.
You spend it as soon as you get it. So sometimes you might as well wait on it to have it in the long run.
Yeah, it's not like they're taking and reinvesting it a lot of times.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So once again, you're sort of at on a hamster wheel of like trying to chase that next check.
Right.
So that's just a few things I learned in business over the years. I'm 48 right now. I've fucked off a lot of money.
Right.
And one thing I've learned that if you're not, regardless of how much you make, if you're not taking as much profit as you could take and reinvesting it to other things, whether it's your own business or it's the stock market or it's property or something that's guaranteed or almost guaranteed to make money over the long term, you will continue to be poor. You're just making money, then you're spending it, then you got to make some more, then you're spending it.
It becomes not residual at that time. It just becomes stagnant to where you're at and what you're doing to bring income. So you're right.
Exactly. And that's how real wealth is built, is by you either make as much income as you can and then you buy assets, or you're creating assets through your business, which you then keep and you don't sell. Right. And over time, you create a snowball. And by the time you hit your 40s, 50s, 60s, you could just kick back and, not have to grind as hard as, you did in your 20s.
Some people still go hard. Grind 60 with all the money in the world. Sometimes it's just the us humans.
It's just the grind.
Right.
100K track, man. Always a pleasure when you come in, man. And, I just want to say that I deal with a lot of people in the music industry, and you've always been extremely professional, always transparent. Whenever we've set up any sort of business, it's always gone according to plan. There's never any sort of bullshit. There's no cancellations or runaround or whatever else.
I stand on business.
Nah, man. And I can see why a lot of artists fuck with you
right,
the way they do, just because the way you handle your business and the way you handle your personal relationships and so forth, man. So I salute everything you're doing. Check out the new Mercury album.
Mercury, y'all check it out right now. I will do a couple shout outs too, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of artists on that like I really like appreciated, like, Hotboii for being in tune, because he's on a lot of records. I want to shout out to Zai, bro. Y'all need to check out, like, Zai is dope, voice, talent, everything. So Zai, know what I'm saying? And I want to long live Wiz because he didn't get a chance to be here. He didn't even get a chance to see the record come out. But you know what I'm saying? Definitely want to shout out to Wiz. I'm saying we definitely going to keep it going. It's motion all 2022.
That's what it is, man. 100K track. Until next time. Peace.